Thank you for joining me today. I wanted to share with you a fun gatefold card using the Counting Sheep stamp set and the sheep dies that are both two different items that you can earn for Sale-a-Bration for just a couple more weeks. So here is the card we're going to make. And I just love that Stampin' Up! Was really thinking when they made this little gate fence pieces because they fit perfectly to make a gatefold. I always say if you're going to make one card, you might as well make two cards. So we're going to make two cards out of one piece of cardstock. So start with your cardstock. We're going to score this at 2 3/4 inches on both sides. So use your light scoring blade. 2 3/4 inches and just flip it around to do the same thing on the other side. I like to score it before I cut it because then as I'm doing two cards, I've only had to score it once. Now we're going to cut it in half at 4 1/4 inches this way. And when you fold it like this, you're going to see, here's your gate. Here's the little gate part. Now one other thing that I do have, I'm using the basic borders dies for my background. I'm going to use this little cloud looking one. This is going to be the pasture for our sheep. 5 1/2 by, let's find out, 3-inch piece of Pear Pizzazz cardstock. Now all of the dies that we're going to use today will actually fit in our new cute mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. I'm going to put it on about right there so I get most of my meadow cut from that size. Now the sheep set is guaranteed to be available through the end of September, but these dies are only available while supplies last. And let me tell you that if you chose the sheep set, you're going to want the dies. I like to put coordinating dies inside my stamp case so that when I pull them out, I'm ready to use both of them. With my one of the little stamps is a tuft of grass, and you can just stamp it all over. I like to get it inked up and then stamp it a couple of times off. Then I'm going to cut it in half so that it can go on both sides of my paper. So let's bring that in here. And half of 5 1/2 is 2 3/4, which is why we cut or scored our paper at 2 3/4. Dark blade cuts. There is our background. Let's put this on the front of our card now. Now this has a lot of pieces that I've die cut on this card, but I did most of it beforehand. It doesn't take long because you can die cut more than one. So for instance, you can cut sunshine and clouds from little scrap pieces of paper, and you can do them together at the same time. So we'll put on our sunshine, and you can see that this is a scrap that I've used or I stamped on the other side. Never throw away your scraps, right? I'm only using 2 stamp colors today. I just used the Pear Pizzazz that I stamped all over the background. I'm going to use soft suede for everything else. So glad it's your birthday. We'll put on the cloud with a little piece of dimensionals to make it stand off the card. Stamping my sheep in the soft suede. Now you can color these in if you would like, or just leave them white. I'm going to use a crumb cake Stampin' Blends to color their faces. dies from the sheep dies. And one thing, if you struggle to keep the dies in place, you're welcome to use a little bit of washi tape or a post-it note. I'll show you how that works. We've got two little sheep, and they're going to be going on the front of our card, kind of like this. Now, if you're really smart, before you cut out your balloons, so I've got a bunch of balloons right here. If you're really smart, then you remember to put some of our adhesive sheets on the back of one of them, or some of them, because that will make it really easy. And I've cut some out of some of our new in colors. This is the one that I actually remembered to put the adhesive sheet on before I ran through the cut and emboss. Makes it a lot easier that way, especially for these tiny little pieces. But the others, not so smart. But that's okay, because I am going to put them on 2 dimensionals. Look at that. Close enough. Finally, the last thing we're going to do is our gate, our fence. And I'm going to actually dip my fence into my ink pad. Soft suede ink pad, and that just kind of gives it a little bit of ink on the raised surfaces that are going to be cut. You'll see on the back of your dies you have little tiny holes to help you punch out the die if it gets stuck. But look at this. Look at that. See the difference right there between this one and that one? Can you see that? I just like that really well. So now there's a piece on this fence that have 2 little extensions, and I decided I wanted those to be part of the gate. So I've already actually put on my dimensionals, so you don't have to watch me doing that. You only have a couple of weeks to get the last of your Sale-a-Bration items for free. These are both free with each with a $50 purchase. So if you buy $100, and you can get all of the other supplies, the ink and the cardstock, or maybe the cut and emboss. The mini one is so fun for traveling and scrapbooking. But then you can choose both of those for free. And we need to put our piece on the inside, but only through the end of September. So don't wait. I think he's a cute little card, and then this little gatefold card opens like that, and you can write your birthday greeting on the inside.